God help the girl. For some reason, I was not expecting a musical. I think that was just my fault, and I didn't realize it was gonna be a musical, and I hate musicals usually. So at first, I was a bit worried. I was very concerned when the movie begins with Emily Browning just breaking into a song. So yeah, but I actually ended up really enjoying it. I didn't quite love it, and I wouldn't quite recommend it to anybody, but because it's not for everybody. It definitely has some flaws that I'm able to look past, but I don't think that everyone will. Because it's a musical, the main part should be the music, and actually that was a bit weak at times, and it's actually hard to explain because in some moments the lyrics were great, very powerful and very fitting, and then in other moments the lyrics made no sense. They didn't rhyme, they didn't really have a flow, there was no melody, they didn't even relate to what was happening. So it was actually quite awkward sometimes to listen to the songs because they just made no sense and they were just came out of nowhere. But being able to look past that, I actually enjoyed it quite a lot because of the style. It looked very colorful and very pretty, and it looked colorful, but at the same time it had sort of a filter to it. It almost made it look like it was shot in film, maybe. It had that look to it, so it was actually very pretty to look at. And one thing that really kept me into it was the acting. Three fantastic actors. I'm gonna start with Emily. Is it Browning or is it Brown? I should have looked that up. I think it's Browning. I'm not specifically a fan of hers because last time I saw her, I didn't like her movie Plush. But she was good in Sucker Punch, and she was great in Sleeping Beauty, so I was excited to see her, and I actually ended up liking her a lot in this. She definitely kept me interested in her character, and she did a good job, I think, and she sang well, and the only time where I didn't like her was when she looked straight at the camera to sing. That was a bit awkward, breaking the fourth wall with the songs. I didn't really like that part, but I was able to look past it. And the second girl is Hannah Murray, who, of course, or is it? Yeah, it's Hannah Murray. She is, of course, Gilly in Game of Thrones, but before that, she was Cassie in Skins, and she plays a girl named Cassie. I was so happy to see her. I love her. She looked fantastic, and she was adorable as always, and she did a great job with her character, which was pretty small compared to the other ones. There are only three main characters, but she was the smallest one out of the three. And she sang, which is the first time I've seen her sing. I don't think she ever sang in anything else I've seen her in. And it was awkward at first because I was not expecting her to have that voice while she was singing, and the first song that they gave her was a bit strange. Her face was awkward while she was singing, but the second song that she had, sort of in the, I guess, the third part of the movie, it was really, really good. She nailed it for me, and it was a long scene. I think it was a couple minutes for sure. But it was just her singing, and she kept my attention, and I just couldn't look away from her, and I love that scene. It's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. And then the third person that I really, really have to mention was Ollie Alexander, who, of course, the only thing I've seen him in, but I saw him in Skins, and I said, I can't wait to see this guy in more stuff. And of course he was in Cassie's episode, so there was a little a Cassie reunion there with her, so that was great. And he was fantastic. He made my heart break for him. I wanted him to get the girl. I was rooting for him. He was so, I guess, vulnerable and just open and a genuinely nice guy, and that was his character. So you end up rooting for him throughout the entire movie. And his song was very awkward actually to listen to. If the lyrics were just very stalkerish. I didn't like his song at all, but I liked him. So definitely the characters and the acting kept me interested more than anything, and the style, and then the music. I really liked the moments when they were singing and there were montages. Instead of the main characters looking into the camera as if they're speaking to us, when they're really not, because it's not like they're doing exposition or anything like that. What they're singing about has nothing to do with anything. So I liked the moments when there was a montage of pictures and of moments from the movie, and it was actually a fun movie to watch. There were jokes in it. I cared for the characters. I sympathized with them, and I wanted them to be okay. I definitely wanted them to overcome whatever struggles that they were going through, and I definitely wanted them to find peace, sort of. And the ending was quite fitting. I figured that it would be an ending similar to the one that happened, and I'm actually quite happy with it. I won't spoil it, but it really was the only realistic way it could go, honestly. So I was happy with it, and it's not something that I would recommend to everyone specifically, because it's a musical, but it's not a typical musical. I don't think it's not like the dialogue is in song form or anything like that. It's not like they're doing exposition through song. It's random songs. That's all I can say, with good lyrics sometimes, bad lyrics most of the time. So that really took me out of the movie when the lyrics were not doing it for me. And that's all I have to say. Great style, not great music, great acting, great actors, great characters, great writing, except for the songs. And I guess if you like these actors, I would highly recommend it. I mean, that's why I watched it. I had no idea it was going to be a musical. I saw the trailer months ago, and I guess I had forgotten it, and I don't think that the trailer even made it clear that it was going to be a musical. I knew there were going to be songs because it's about musicians writing songs and recording. So I figured, yeah, they're going to sing throughout the movie, but I just didn't think that it was going to be a musical. But one thing that I did appreciate was the fact that it didn't have that many songs. This wasn't like Mamma Mia or anything like that, or Les Mis. It was quite contained. There were maybe 5 or 6 big song moments, and I was happy with it. And it's 2 hours, but it feels less. It feels less than 2 hours. It went by quickly for me. I was into it. I was excited to watch it, and it definitely made me feel emotional. I was caring for the characters, and I wanted to know if they were going to be okay or not, if they were going to be able to overcome what they were going through. So yeah, I guess if you like the actors, if you like musicals, this is a different experience, I think. I haven't seen many musicals because, like I said, I don't like them. But from the little musicals that I have seen, I get the feeling that this was quite different because of the fact that it had less songs in it, and they were sung in a different context. It wasn't just exposition and dialogue. So yeah, I do recommend this to fans of musicals and fans of the cast. If you are not sure about the songs, I guess, don't do it. They're not great. If you're looking for great songs, this isn't it. Which was quite disappointing. I was actually, once it broke out into song, I was hoping that, okay, maybe I can get into it, but the songs didn't do it for me at all. So maybe next time. But until then, Cassie rules, and I love her.